Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to read tarot in 30 minutes or less without memorizing all the meanings of the cards. And I have chosen the Muse Tarot for this tutorial because it's similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith, but not exactly. And the reason why I chose that is I want to show you all how I go through the cards intuitively, emotionally, psychically, and I don't use my left brain at all, okay? So that way, sometimes I feel like it's better for people not to know the meanings because then they don't get stuck in their head. So my basis for learning tarot is I just taught myself because I already knew energy work. I am a quantum energy healer. So I just applied that to tarot and it worked beautifully. So there are no rules in tarot. I have no rules in tarot. I just let everything flow freely, easily, and naturally, and I want to show you how to do that in this video. So I just asked myself like a question like, what do I need to know right now? And the cards that came up were the Four of Inspiration and the Five of Inspiration. Now, this inspiration correlates to the wands in tarot. Now, if you were a beginner and you pulled this card, the first thing that I would want you to do is look at the card, notice what you notice, and number one on my little list here is what do you notice, what stands out the most, okay? So the first thing that I see when I look at this card, even though like if I had no idea what the Four of Wands meant, which is what this Four of Inspiration is, I would just be like, oh, well, I noticed that these girls are on this piece of land and it's surrounded by clouds. I noticed that they're kind of like removed from, you know, the rest of society. They're not like in a crowded shopping mall. They're clearly in a meditative space. They're relaxed. They're connected. The second thing that I notice, right, is they have all of these lines, see if you can see that, going from the tops of their heads all the way to the sky. Okay, so what that means to me is they're connected to the divine, they're connected to their higher self, they're connected to cosmic forces, okay? Now, what's the third thing I notice, okay? The third thing I notice is these little lights. I'm pretty sure those are lights, or at least I'm choosing to take them as lights. So the little lights are all strung and they're connected. When I think of a light bulb, because I kind of see this as a light bulb in my mind, a light bulb means an idea. So what this means to me is divine inspiration, divine ideas coming down from the divine into their minds because they're in a meditative space. So if I was going to pull this card in a tarot reading and I had no idea what it meant, I would start with the first thing I noticed, which was this. And then I might say to the person, well, I can see that these people on this card, they have taken time to separate themselves from their regular life. They've taken time to create a meditative, inclusive space. These little clouds here are kind of like a little barrier, right? So this might mean meditation space. It might mean sitting in the bathtub and connecting to yourself. It might mean going out in nature and journaling, something to the nature of that, but something that's removed from your ordinary reality, okay? So you see how I just like brought that through and interpreted that even though I literally have no idea what the meaning that the author said was. So you can't mess it up. The way you read tarot is you notice what you notice, you go through your feelings, your thoughts, and think of any analogies or examples. So when I was talking in here, I was like, oh, well, you know, you could sit in a bathtub or you could sit out in nature. That was me doing the analogies / examples to like really bring it home for the person so that they can visualize and feel in their body what you're telling them. Okay, so now if I'm further noticing things about this card, the fourth thing I notice about this card is there are four people here, okay? So these four people, though, are all kind of on the same wavelength, right? They're all meditating. They're all, you know, connected to their higher selves. They're all receiving divine answers. So what this feels like to me is you do have help. Okay, so see how I went from what do I notice, and now I've gone down and I'm going down into analogies and examples. So you do have help. There are other people in your life that are on the same wavelength, right? And this could be, see, now I'm doing analogies and examples. This could be other authors, right? Some book you saw on Amazon and you really resonate. Someone on YouTube that you really like watching, like yours truly. Or like someone on Instagram that you follow that's like really high vibe and bright and you really resonate with a lot of things that person says. So other like-minded people that are also connected to their higher selves, okay, and receiving divine ideas of inspiration, you might also get ideas from those other people that are kind of like in your sphere or in your reality, as well as up from the divine, okay? So that's how I would interpret this card. Now, when I read tarot, I'll do the individual card first, and then I'll do the next individual card, and then I'll put it together like it's a sentence, okay? So now we've just talked about this one card. So let's move into the second card. All right, this is 5 of inspiration. So what do I notice? The first thing I notice about this card that comes directly to me is the 5 different people and then the 5 different sort of like blue sky things that are happening here. So I notice that each of these people, they look like to me like they have a different emotion. So I'm still in the what do I notice, what stands out to me, okay? What I notice is this person feels sad, this person feels ambivalent, this person actually feels excited, like, hey, I could do that. This person is more contemplated, and this one is like, kind of like, really, should I do that? I don't know if I should do that. So the first thing that comes to me, the feeling of this card, okay, I moved to feelings. Feelings of this card is like, you have all these different aspects of self that all kind of feel like a different way about how to do something. And I say different aspects of self because these are all the same person, okay? It's not like it's different people. Like in this card, we had different people. This is like the same person, all doing different things, feeling different ways, okay? So that's my feeling state. Let's move into thoughts. What does this make me think? This makes me think that you have these, okay, so I'm naturally putting it into a sentence and like putting the cards together. And I'm doing that because that's what naturally came to me. You're just going to follow your intuition as to how to allow the reading to flow. So now I'm going to be like, okay, I feel like you're getting all these intuitive ideas from the divine, from other people in your reality, especially when you put yourself in a meditative space where you can really connect to your own energy, but you're not sure how to move forward. You have all these different feelings about how you should do that to get to where you want to go. Now we're moving back to this card because I intuitively want to move deeper into this card. Now we're back to, what do you notice? What I noticed about this card is there's like this orange cloud situation here, orange sky, and then this is blue sky. Okay, so what do we know about orange skies? I don't know. Orange skies aren't really real. Our sky in real life is blue. So what does that mean to me? Okay, so now I went to what do I notice, and now I'm kind of thinking like, how am I going to put that in words? And I'll be like, well, the blue sky, what that feels like to me is the reality that you want, the reality that you desire, real reality, right? What you want to happen in your life. Because in our world, the sky is actually blue. It's not orange. So then I'm like, what could this orange represent? And I'm like, well, maybe the orange is like imagination. You know what I mean? Because it's like, we don't really have orange sky. We have blue sky. So it's like, okay, in your imaginative state, you imagine all these different ways you could bring about what you physically want, which is represented by the blue sky. So you see how I did that? You see how I just noticed what I noticed? Then I tried to put it in the thoughts. Then I kind of noticed how I felt. And then I kind of went back to an analogy of like, well, it's like, what do you want really in your life? And you feel all these things in your imagination space. So you're not really sure how to move forward, etc. All right. So now I intuitively feel like I brought these cards together. We tapped into this card. Whoops. Oh no, I dropped it. We tapped into the 5 of Inspirations card, and then we kind of sort of put them together. All right. Now, what I'm intuitively feeling is, well, we need another card to like clarify some of this and bring this energy through. All right. So I just intuitively feel like I want to choose one more card for clarification. All right. There's no right or wrong. I could have chosen 5 cards. I chose one because that's what I intuitively felt. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add this to the sentence. Okay. So we're going to just first dive deep into this card, and then we'll add it to the paragraph. So this card is the 2 of emotions, which corresponds to the 2 of cups. So what do you notice, right? What do you notice? The first thing I notice here is these 2 people are totally engrossed in the water, okay? They're engrossed in their emotions. There's no land, there's no air, they're under the water, they're fully in their emotions. That's the first thing I notice. Second thing I notice, they're totally staring at each other. Like, these people are not looking at the fish, all right? They're like, the only thing that exists is themselves. Okay, so they're ignoring other things going on in their reality, totally engrossed with each other, totally engrossed in the water. Okay, first thing this makes me think of, right now I've gone to like analogies and examples. First thing this makes me think of is, you know how sometimes when you're in your emotions and you're just totally focused on what's going on in front of you and you're literally not paying attention to anything else in life, the fish like aren't even a thing, what's happening with other people, all other areas of your life are just gone. You're only focusing on what's happening, and it's like you're hyper focused on that thing because these people are so focused on each other. All right, so that is how I would interpret this card. I have no idea what the deck says about it, but this is what's intuitively naturally coming through, just using my feelings, my emotions, and what naturally I notice. All right, so now let's allow this card and bring it into all 3 of these cards. So what I feel like is happening here is you're getting these ideas of inspirations. You're not exactly sure. You're conflicted in your imagination about all the different things you could do to bring it through. And this feels more like, this energy feels stuck to me, right? It's like, what happens is you get in your emotions and you can only focus on what's going on in front of you, which causes you to just remain stuck and really not know how to move forward, even though you are receiving divine guidance, because you're just hyper focused on whatever's in front of you. This creates the stuck motion. And the next thing I notice, right, so now we're back to, see, I'm just flitzing through these back and forth. Now, what I'm noticing about this card is these two, if I were watching a movie, they would be spinning, right? They would just be twisting like that, like the spiral, and just staying in place. So this energy, this card feels to me like the energy of spiraling, staying in place, being hyper-focused on something in your emotions, and therefore it's creating this like stagnant energy where you just don't know how to move forward and make the thing happen, even though you're getting the ideas and inspiration of what to do, okay? All right, so now I need more information here, right? That's the next thing that comes to me. It's like, okay, well, that's great, but how does this person move forward? Like, what do they need to know? So then what I would do is I would just, pick up the cards and I would feel in my body, like, what do these people, what does this person need to know? What is the next thing they need to come? And I just honestly just want to pull 2 cards. Let's just pull 2 cards. All right, so, and I pulled 2 because I intuitively feel like I wanted to pull 2. No rhyme or reason, no logic. Okay, so we have these 2 cards. Sometimes what I'll like to do is I'll feel in the cards, which one am I feeling more? Like if I pick 2, I'm like, which one do I read first? I'm feeling this one more strongly, okay? So therefore I'm going to read this one first and this one second. Again, no rhyme or reason, just what I felt like doing. All right, so as we move into the Magician card, first thing that comes to me with the Magician card is I see, the first thing I notice, right? First thing I notice is this rainbow situation down here and this rainbow situation up here. So it's this feeling of like bringing what's dense up or bringing what's up here down into the dense. The feelings, okay, now we're moving into feelings. The feelings that I get from this card are manifestation, creation, using what you have at your disposal. These 4 things right here, they feel to me like things you can use in your life, tools and whatnot that you can use in order to bring forth your manifestation. You have the tools, they're all sitting in front of you on the table right here. So you actually do have the power to bring it forth. You do have the power to manifestate, that's not a word, to manifest what you're desiring, okay? All right, so now that feels good to me about this card. I feel kind of done, like, that feels good. I don't feel like I need to pull more out of that. So now I'm going to move to the next card because I intuitively feel done with that. So the next card is going to be the 9 of Inspiration. Let's look at this card. Let's say you have, really, the 9 of Inspiration is going to be the Wands, right? Now, let's say you have, like, no idea what this means and you don't know the textbook meaning. Perfectly fine, no big deal. What you're going to do is, what do you notice? What stands out to you the most? Well, a couple things stand out to me here. Her orange dress stands out to me. This little chevron thing stands out to me. These pillars in the background, like in this path, stand out to me. So the first thing that stands out the most is the orange dress. So let's move into the orange dress. How does the orange dress make you feel? The orange dress makes me feel like passion, like excitement, and this sort of like fiery energy of creation and bringing things forth. So this girl is feeling to me like she is in her emotions of passion and fierceness and being like aligned, okay? I feel aligned because she's standing on this path, okay, that goes between the 2 pillars. Here's what I know about usually pillars or large gates. It's usually something very important, right? The thing I'm feeling about this is she's on the correct path for her, right? She's on the right path. And the chevron thing, I feel like it's like this arrow pointing down, like highlighting, yes, this is the correct path. This is the right path. Again, that's just what I feel, right? Because I went to feelings. The other thing I notice about this card, right? Now we're back on step 1. What do you notice? Is the 9. 9 is more of like a completion energy. Granted, it's not the 10, right? Because there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Wands, and we're basically on the 9 of Wands here. But what I am noticing about this 9 is this is way more of a completion energy than this 4 and this 5, right? Because we have 2 other Wand cards here. All right, so what do I notice about the 9? It feels like completion. It feels like being done. It feels like being in the correct reality on the correct path where things are done. Okay, so now we've done this card. Now let's put these 2 cards together like a sentence or a paragraph. So what I'm feeling about this when I notice what I notice is that I'm more attracted to this card than this card. So I'll be like, okay, it feels like, right now I'm on feelings, it feels like the emotion and this passion and this like completion energy, this graduation energy, if she's just come between the 2 pillars, you know, it's like she's been to where she needs to be and back is the feeling I get from this completion, this 9 number, right? So she's feeling the passion. She is the version of herself who like has the thing, she's achieved the thing, she feels good about the thing. And then what I notice over here, it's like, well, manifest from you already have the thing, right? Don't manifest from, oh, I wish I had the thing. Manifest from, oh, like I've already got it. I am assuming the vibration and the thoughts and the feelings of I already have my manifestation and I feel so good and I feel so happy. And then look back and like, okay, well, how did I manifest that? What was I thinking? What was I feeling? What action steps did I take, etc.? It's like manifesting from you already have it, not manifesting from I wish I had it. So now what we're going to do is bring this whole thing together into a large paragraph. Let me lay this down on the table. So how I would then bring the whole thing together is I would be like, well, you're getting inspiration from the divine. You're not sure to how to move forward because you keep getting emotionally stuck because you're focused on your current reality of what's happening right now. And the way that you get over this is you go to done. You go to, I already have the thing. It's already working. How did I manifest that? And that's going to pull your butt out of this stuck energy of spiraling emotionally and then being not sure how to move forward and how to take action and just like staying in this like meditative mode and never moving forward. Okay. So the way to, quantum leap out of this, gee, I'm stuck and I don't know what to do, is to go to, it's already done, I already know what to do, what were the thoughts, feelings, and steps that I took in order to manifest this thing, and then that is how you're going to like bring the energy through in order to get out of the stuck energy and just the receiving divine guidance. So you're going to receive divine guidance and then feel in your body of, okay, I'm seeing, I'm feeling, I'm knowing I already have created this manifestation that I really want. Okay, now what did I do? And being in this meditative state, connecting to your higher self and receiving intuitive guidance via the lights and feeling, well, what did I do? How did I do that? What actions did I take? Did I have a routine? What was my routine? That's going to create the success that you want. Okay, so now when I do readings, I like to use multiple decks because, hey, why not? It's fun. So another deck that I felt intuitively guided to pull a card from was this one. It is the Power of Surrender cards. I really like this deck because it doesn't always tell you what you want to hear. And, I do have 4 planets in Scorpio. So I do like that, the deck. And I pulled a card for this reading to show you all. And what came to me was surrender to complete healing. Now, the first thing in order to read this card, we could read this down here, but that's not what this video is about. So what would I do? I'd follow my steps again. What do I notice? Well, when I think about surrender to complete healing, what stands out to me is complete, as in finished, as in no more to do, as in no more steps. And what I see in my mind is stairs. So even though there aren't stairs in this card, I see stairs in my mind. And I'm getting the feeling of you have to stop creating another stair step and seeing another stair step that you have to complete. At some point, you have to be at the top of the stairs. Okay? At some point, you have to surrender to complete healing of being at the freaking top of the stairs, which, hello, was this 9 of Inspiration card. Okay? So at some point, you've got to stop the whole, I need to figure it out. Let me create more struggle and drama here so while I flail around emotionally and have a freak out. And at some point, you just have to be done. Okay? And you just got to get to surrender to complete healing. Be in the energy of it's finished. I already have the thing. Surrender the emotional drama. Whoop. Oh, come back. Surrender the confusion of how to move forward and how to take action. And just allow yourself to be done. Allow yourself to be in this 9 of Inspiration energy. Allow yourself to surrender to complete healing. Okay? So that is how I would read tarot without knowing how to read anything. Okay? So what do you notice? Feelings, thoughts, any images that you see in your mind? I guess I should have wrote that down here because I just realized I see images in my mind constantly. And I didn't write that on here. But you guys have watched the whole thing. You got what I did. So analogies and examples, etc., are really helpful to bring it through. And I feel like my analogies and examples are very helpful. Like when I did all the videos on what each of the tarot cards mean, I used a lot of examples to try to bring that through. But how I read all those cards, you guys, was just I just did this. What do I notice? Thoughts, feelings, analogies. What do I see in my mind? I mean, if I heard anything in my head, then I would say, well, I hear da-da-da-da. I don't usually hear a lot because I have chosen not to, but, you know, the universe can give you information in many, many ways. So this deck I just got the other day, and I've really been enjoying it. And partially, not only does it feel like high vibe, and I really like that about it, but I feel like it's so good for really allowing your intuition to come all the way through, because it is a little bit different than the Rider-Waite-Smith. Ooh, see this one? Look how fun this would be to like interpret that. Like we got eyeballs, we've got sun. We have so many things we could say about this. The wheel. Wait, what is that? 10. The wheel. Okay, yeah. It's a little hard for me to see words through the viewfinder. Yeah, the Justice card. And so, yeah, it's so rich in like archetypes and interpretation. It just feels extremely fun to me, and that's why I wanted to use it in this video. But anyway, guys, please let me know in the comments what other things you would like to see me do regarding tarot. I want to do more videos and have more fun with it, because videos are my favorite thing. And also, if you have a friend who you think could benefit from this video, please send it to them, but only if you think they're going to love it. Because I would like to get my work out to more people. I want more people to like feel happy and connected and be able to read tarot, because it's good stuff. And yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you have any more questions, maybe I'll do more videos on that, because that sounds fun. And all right, guys, see you later. Bye.